News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. I'm Christopher Cruz. It's perhaps best described as massive. There's been a leak of call and text logs from almost every AT&T cellular customer. More from CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
AT&T says more than 100 million customers are affected by a breach, which happened in April when records were illegally downloaded onto a third-party platform. The telecommunications giant says it involves phone and text message data for nearly all of its wireless customers for the 6 months between May 1st and October 31st, 2022. As well as a very small number of customers from January 2nd, 2023.
CBS News has learned that in the next 48 hours, more House Democrats will publicly call for President Biden to leave the ticket. CBS's Scott McFarland is following developments on Capitol Hill.
A statement from the House leader, Hakeem Jeffries, who announced publicly and to his members he had a meeting last night with the president. Didn't say whether he has the president's back or whether he tried to get the president to stand down, just that he had a meeting and expressed the very diverse sets of opinions inside the House Democratic caucus.
And Meta said today it will end the suspension of former President Donald Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts in the coming weeks. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky continued his U.S. tour with an impassioned plea before the National Governors Association in Salt Lake City.
This is a war where it's absolutely clear what is good and what boundaries evil crosses.
That U.S. military pier built 2 months ago as a way to bring humanitarian aid into Gaza will be permanently dismantled within a few days. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh.
To date, more than 8,000 metric tons, or nearly 20 million pounds of humanitarian aid, have been delivered from the pier to the marshaling area, where it can be collected by humanitarian organizations for onward delivery and distribution.
There's been a somber development in Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma Mayor G.T. Bynum says a World War I veteran was the first person identified from graves filled with victims of the 1921 Tulsa massacre of the city's black community. The remains of C.L. Daniel of Georgia were identified through DNA from descendants of his brothers.
Identifying Mr. Daniel's remains has been, candidly, an emotionally powerful experience for every person on our team.
White people killed as many as 300 blacks during the massacre. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
And on Wall Street, stocks soared to record highs again on investor confidence over Fed rate cuts. The Dow Industrials closed back over 40,000 again, and the three major indices each closed up about 0.5%. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 76 degrees in Albany, California.